Yeah, y'all know I talk about teachers a lot and how they have such a hard job, but I also talk about the fact that schools are hiring anybody nowadays. Literally, like they're hiring janitors, they're hiring the first person they see, homeless people walking down the street. They don't care. They're literally hiring anybody. And I feel like that's why we see an increase of these teachers having these weird relationships with kids. Now, this lady, she's a teacher aide, not a full-fledged teacher, but this is a story coming out of Wisconsin. So let's go ahead and check it out, man.
Teacher aide in Kenosha County will be spending the next 50 years in prison.
A judge delivered that sentence for Anna Marie Crocker today. She pled guilty to sex crimes involving 4 young boys. 12 News' Hannah Hilliard has her emotional.
34-year-old Anna Marie Crocker.
I take full responsibility for what has taken place.
A once teacher's aide in Silver Lake, now a convicted child sex offender, in court Tuesday to learn her fate after pleading guilty to multiple crimes.
I am disturbed by the harm and distress along with the trauma that you have to endure. I'm deeply sorry that this has caused confusion, pain, and anger, and that you have to live with this the rest of your lives.
Investigators detailed her sex crimes against 4 young boys during Tuesday's sentencing. One, a 12-year-old she forced to have sex with her. Another, a 14-year-old she lured out of his home to sexually assault.
She couldn't help herself. She was juggling all these boys at the same time.
A court's order
she couldn't help herself, man. She was juggling all these boys at the same time. So 51 years in prison. I think that's well deserved, because a lot of times when this stuff happens to boys, I know we all guys we like to joke around like, dang, where was these teachers at when we were young? But this does create psychological damage. And we talk about guys being whoremongers or like sex addicts when they grow up. It's usually like a lot of times it's because of like that early exposure as a child to situations like this. So, teachers, you're there to help students, and they're vulnerable, right? Kid's 14, but he still has a young, impressionable mind. They said one of the kids was 12. I think, one of them got lured out the house. So, like, how did that even happen? Those kids, like I said, they probably thought it was cool at the time, but they'll look back on it later in life and be like, yo, this lady was really like taking advantage of us.
Prohibited the recording of the victims and their families, but one mother told the judge, quote, "This person destroyed my son's psyche and loving and caring spirit." That family moving out of state as a result of Crocker's actions. Crocker, a mother of 4 herself, pleading for a lighter sentence.
I'm asking for mercy and compassion, even though I understand the seriousness.
The judge ultimately...
Nah, man, equal genders, or whatever gender you are, you deserve an equal penalty. And I would think if any guy did this to some little girls, God forbid, 4 of them at school, he'd be under the jail. And the thing is, he's not making it through like his first year of his sentence before he's getting, shanked up in there. I'm not gonna lie. So she definitely deserved 51.
Handing down 51 and a half years of incarceration.
She sought out children, she used children, and she took advantage of children.
Crocker showing little emotion as she now heads to prison for the next half century. Crocker will be in her 80s by the time this sentence runs out. She must also now register as a sex offender for the rest of her life. Reporting in Kenosha, Hannah Hilliard, WISN 12.
My thing is, when we see these people crying and, giving their statements and apologies to the family, usually these people, they got like psychological problems, like they're trying to normalize this thing with the whole MAPS thing, the minor attracted people and shit like that. Like there's groups trying to normalize this, and they want to try to see this as like a regular sort of sexual attraction. But at the end of the day, this is something sick, and she's a pred, right? She's a pred, and she got what she deserves, because like I said, these boys it's gonna affect their lives. They might not see it, they might not think it affects their life, but being exposed to something like that, and who knows how long it was actually going on, and the damage after it from people knowing this happened to you also, that's a whole nother layer that a lot of people don't even even have, right? Because most guys that this happens to, whether it was from a man or woman in their life, like nobody knows about it, right? This is something that they keep to themselves their whole life. And you know, sometimes they say hurt people, and they end up portraying the same thing. So well-deserved sentence. Good job, judge here. I don't applaud judges too often, but like I said, if it's a guy, I'd be the same way. Put him under the jail, man, under the jail. Let me know what y'all think about this down below though, man. Crazy.